Hi guys, Shiri's here from Shiri's Castle-Blugh Designs, and I'm coming to you today with this little video. I hope to do it quickly, um, just to give you some tips on keeping your silver, your sterling silver intact. So a customer called me about these earrings, and I made these earrings about a year ago and sold it to a customer, and she really liked them. So she called me a few days ago telling me that her silver had turned black, and I wasn't a bit too surprised. It's just that I know sterling silver tarnishes. It is going to tarnish unless you take good care of your silver. So how do we take care of the silver? Now I want you to look carefully at this. Please know that all components are indeed sterling silver. I really try, when I tell my customers something is sterling, I try to make sure that all components are sterling. If you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it. See clearly, earrings marked 925 on the ear hooks, and well, these pendants or these little charms, the native feathers, are actually dipped in a sterling silver liquid and then cooled. So this is what it actually looks like before it tarnishes. So just some quick tips today on how to preserve and how to care for your sterling silver. Now we have to know exactly what is tarnish and what causes it. And if we know what tarnish is and what causes tarnish, we can help to take care of our jewelry. So preventing tarnish on jewelry is, much less work than removing it. I actually opted to remake Stephanie's earring, other than just to clean this, because one, it has a natural turquoise stone attached to it, and dipping this in any kind of chemical may cause the stone to melt, because you see turquoise is a very soft stone. It can break easily, and it really has to be taken care of. The gemstone itself can be wiped to become clean, but to say dip it in chemical liquids, that's a no-no for turquoise. And then these little native charms that I use in the earrings, they do have a little bit piece of gem in them, and that's not, it's not recommended that you dip jewelry like that in chemical or liquid. So tarnish is a layer of corrosion that develops on most metals, especially sterling silver. Sulfur and other airborne chemicals are the main cause of tarnish, and the jewelry tarnishes much faster if it's left out in the open than if it's stored away in an acid-free closed container. Now, the metal of tarnished jewelry has a darkened appearance like you're seeing here. It has a darkened appearance, which can give your precious jewelry, a really dull outlook. So, first of all, keeping your jewelry separate and protected will help to preserve them. Now, I really don't mind cleaning each piece of my jewelry right after I wear them. What I do mind is the process of having to take all my stock to a jeweler to re-clean my entire inventory to shine up for upcoming shows. I actually have boxes of sterling silver items that changed on me, and then when I did some research, and that's what made me want to do this video for you guys, because I have the problem too where my sterling silver tarnishes, and I have to write to my supplier to make sure it is sterling silver, get them tested, etc., etc. So I have searched and searched, and then I have tried and tested and come up with some best practices to help preserve the silver. So firstly, closed plastic bags. I recommend that you store your individual pieces of jewelry in sealed Ziploc bags for greater protection. I use these for my sterling silver stuff. And if you look carefully, there's actually two Ziploc bags. So what I do, this is a sterling silver chain that I have in my bag. This is how I store all my jewelry before I actually sell them to customers. And I'm considering now, even though I like the pretty boxes, I am considering actually selling my pieces with these little bags, So what happens is that I will usually put the item into the smaller plastic bag, ziplock it, and then put it in a larger ziplock bag and make sure it is sealed for protection. So this is one method. Together with this, something I also practice is there is something called acid-free paper stock. And look at this, it's a simple piece of paper, but this is a special piece of paper. It's actually acid-free. I have to cover that hole in my mat. So it's acid-free paper. You can use acid-free paper or cardstock for your jewelry tags, earring cards, or any other paper goods or packaging that are stored in the same container with your jewelry. So I would take this acid-free paper and I would put it inside of the larger Ziploc bag. Put it inside there to make sure that my silver stays great. I also use silver tarnish cloth. It's also called the Pacific cloth. This is actually kind of dirty, but it does great wonders. This cloth is indeed a miracle. So what I would recommend is after wearing your jewelry, wipe it. If you can get the jewelry cleaning cloth, the silver tarnish cloth in particular, wipe your jewelry after every wear. And of course, you put your jewelry on last after cosmetics, perfumes, hairsprays, and other chemicals, substances, because all those things can be corrosive. Alright, so if you store your jewelry in boxes or trays, you can purchase silver tarnish cloth to line your boxes and trays and also cover them. Another thing I use, and I had to search so far for this, is something called non-tarnish strips. If you can see it here, it's a black sheet that's titled anti-tarnish paper tab and it says do not remove 3M. I've tried to include this in my packaging when I'm selling student silver. Alright, and this piece of paper, it stays up to 3 months. You can put these non-tarnish strips in your jewelry and change the strips every 2 to 3 months. Mark the changing date on your calendar so you don't forget to put in fresh non-tarnish strips regularly. Or you can substitute a few pieces of regular chalkboard chalk in with your jewelry. You see, what happens is that the chalk works similarly to these strips. They absorb the airborne substances that can cause your items, your sterling silver, to tarnish. Who knew, eh? Chalk. So your chalk also should be changed every couple of months. So again, a quick wipe down, after each wear, I would advise giving your jewelry a quick wipe down. This will remove anything that is settled on the surface of your jewelry while it was out of closed storage, and it will really help prevent tarnish from forming. You can do a wipe down very quickly before you pack your jewelry away. Just run the cloth rapidly over everything as though you were doing a speedy dusting job. Then store your jewelry in one of the ways recommended that I just spoke about, and add your, if you can get it, your tarnished strips and your acid-free paper stock. So I hope these suggestions help to protect your jewelry. If you have any other ideas, please feel free to share them with me. Comment, and you can get exactly what I spoke about on my website, some tips on how to keep your sterling silver jewelry tarnish free.